Joining me in this conversation are two beautiful women, Itoro Jimmy and my colleague Onyechi Obaro, who is right there in Morocco. Itoro and Onyechi, a very good morning to the both of you. Thank you for joining me on the show today. First of all, let me start with you, Onyechi. What is the vibe like right there? Are Nigerians already making noise? Are they already letting people know that the Super Falcons are going to be playing today? What is the vibe like right there in Morocco?
Right now, it's a cool morning here in Casablanca, Morocco. But I tell you for a fact that you may likely not know that a match as big as two rivals about to take on lock-on head-to-head will be happening today. We'll be waiting till the later hours of the day to see if there'll be buzz around the Nigerian community or even those Moroccans who are also supporting Nigeria at a time like this. So at the moment, still calm. We're waiting. This is just that calm before the storm, as they say it in football. But we are anticipating a very, physical encounter between Cameroon and Nigeria. They are familiar foes. This is not the first time they're going head-to-head, and with one having an upper hand against the other. But this is what football is all about. We want to see that high-intensity match. We saw that between Morocco and South Africa in the game played, of course, on Saturday, and we could see that everything could show that women's football have developed. We're not seeing women's football being so laid back. Teams matching momentum for momentum, matching the fast-paced football. Could see Bayana going up against the Atlas Lionesses of Morocco with the same energy, with the same pace. That's to show you that there's a big improvement in football. Another would come up today when the Super Falcons of Nigeria go up against Cameroon, because these sides are both physical. And hearing from Coach Justin Madugu, a lot of media did ask him about we conceding goals, but he said the number of goals we have conceded are lesser than that we have scored, and that's a good sign, a good omen for the team. Even though we heard about we saw the Cameroonian journalist who did ask a very sarcastic question to the coach, Anthony Payne, talking about if we're not tired of lifting this title, if you're not tired of being champions of Africa, saying today will be the end of the road for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. We had seen the coach play down on that because that's just mind games, and we're hoping that the girls understand that everyone wants to beat them. Nigeria is the team everybody wants to beat, because when they beat Nigeria, the glory is on them. But remember, the World Cup ticket is on the line, and the girls understand what is at stake at the moment. They understand that they are the team everybody wants to beat. So I'm hoping that they can guide their loans, dot their I's, and cross the T's ahead of this game against Cameroon today.
A Wafcon semi-final and a 2027 World Cup slot on the line. What kind of performance are you expecting from the Falcons as they take on Cameroon later tonight? Itoro, can you hear me?
I thought you were still talking to Oyinye. All right, yeah. So just like Oyinye has said, definitely anyone taking on the Super Falcons of Nigeria, they definitely want to come out and do a number on them. Opening game that was quite a spectacle. I would say everyone came out to say, you know what, these girls, they are not serious, they are not this, they are not that. But just like Oyinye pointed out, the Super Falcons are the team to beat. Everyone is looking forward to if we beat them, of course it boosts their should I say pedigree, so to say. But looking at the head-to-head between Cameroon and Nigeria, they've met 13 times in this tournament, Nigeria winning on open play. And of course, 3 getting to a draw, still Nigeria beating, winning out on penalties. Cameroon has only had one lone victory over Nigeria. I'm hoping that will come into play today when they take on the Cameroonians. Looking at the way the girls have, progressed in this tournament, I would say they've actually somehow they've started growing into their game. Their first game, they played so poorly, but we saw that they were able to come back, build themselves up from that, played against Zambia. Even though they were playing with one man down, or should I say one woman down, they were able to hold their own. And we saw they came all out against Egypt. That shows that the team, of course, are beginning to get into the rhythm. So going into this matchup, I know we'll see something very, very interesting. I say interesting because I know this is going to be a very physical game. And of course, we have some experienced players there that would also hold their own when they take on this Cameroonian side.
Okay then, Onyechi, just before I let you go, I remember you mentioning the fact that, Cameroon have a very intense style of play. So what do the Falcons need to do in order to stop Cameroon from having a comfortable game against them?
That would be the best question for the coach, but if you ask me, judging by what I've been observing from the team, they are familiar with this Cameroonian side. Though, yes, Cameroon has gone through a transition. We've seen a mix of experience and youth, and that's the same that plays with the Super Falcons of Nigeria. We're not seeing more of the old hags who have been with the team for a very long time, or even executed games against Cameroon previously. But that is where it gets interesting. You become unpredictable. Now, of course, at the press conference, every single Cameroonian journalist wanted to know all about the injury updates, asking about Asisat Oshuala if she was going to execute this game, judging the fact that we've been hearing feelers about her being injured from the team. And the coach was smart enough not to reveal that, but he says, yes, there are injury concerns, but did not reveal any name that has been injured from the team. That is a good strategy going into this encounter, because when you begin to predict and you can think ahead of those who will be out or not in this competition, then your opponents have an upper hand against you. But it's great to see that we have a mix of youth and also experienced hands in this squad, and that makes you unpredictable. We are hoping that he can be able to field players that would run the Cameroonians down, because they are physical. They will stretch you. That's what they are known to be. Their male and female team are always stretchy. They stretch their opponents. Okay. When they stretch them, they begin to capitalize on mistakes. And we're hoping that the Super Falcons will hold their own and not play the same game they did against Malawi. Malawi, they underestimated them. You do not have to underestimate a team like Cameroon, who are very physical, and know that they have a mission to stop your run, your campaign, from making it an 11th title or even getting a World Cup ticket. We do not want the Super Falcons to begin to play in the playoff. They are the defending champions. They've got 10 titles from this competition, and never have they missed out on the finals, the quarterfinals or the semi-final of this competition. So we'll be hoping that they can continue this trend, get ahead of the Cameroonians and their game, and then pick up the World Cup ticket and continue the campaign in this competition.
All right then, Onyechi Obaro, thank you so much for your time on the show today. It's time to let you go so that you can rest and prepare for the match later tonight. We're hoping to see you cheering on the girls as usual, wearing your famous and lucky pink blazer. Thank you so much for your time on the show. Itoro, still with you, journalists and fans, they've questioned the Super Falcons' performances throughout the tournament. But what do you think? Or rather, do you think that the pressure of actually securing that World Cup ticket would make them perform better in this game?
Honestly, for me, I think they should actually focus on that. And I think that pressure alone should be enough to, spur them into victory when they take on Cameroon later on this evening. Because first things first, I mean, looking back at history, everyone coming before you has done that. And it's now your turn and you want to sleep. I mean, that would really hurt. That would really, really hurt. So I don't think that's what the girls would want on their record. I think definitely getting the World Cup ticket is something that will spur them into victory when they take on Cameroon this evening. Everyone has been worried, yes, and they have right cause to worry, because truly the girls started poorly when they took on Malawi. But we saw that they were able to, find their way back. And one thing that really excites me is the fact that in the last game against Egypt, 3 players came off the bench and they were also able to contribute to goal scoring. That, I would say, is a plus for the coach going into this. So now it goes back to the coach on how he will make his selection. Yes, there are injury worries, there are injury concerns, but at least I think that should actually help him make a flexible, decision in terms of, the team list, so that, like Onye pointed out, Cameroon are very good at stretching, their opponent. Get the players that can get the job done, if possible, on open play, so that this game ends and everybody goes to rest and they pick up the World Cup ticket before we start talking about, the title defense. Because I tell you, everyone that came into this tournament wants to win that title. Even Malawi, that are just coming for the first time, and you can see the way they've been playing. So I think the best thing to do is for them to just focus. Yes, they have the right amount of pressure. They should just focus, go ahead and play Cameroon tonight and pick up that World Cup ticket.
All right, then. Where do you think the battle should be won in this game between Nigeria and Cameroon? Or rather, what aspect of the game do you think that Nigeria really need to focus on in order to defeat Cameroon?
I think they should be able to focus on the midfield going on to, the attack because, if you're able to control the midfield, you are able to make the right calls, get the right players to run the flanks, get the right players, to distribute the ball. And I think that will be it for the Super Falcons.
Okay.
Yes, the defense needs to wake up. Talking about the goalkeeper, people are not really comfortable with Chiamaka Nnadozie this time around, saying she's always beating her line, coming out when she shouldn't. But I think that definitely if Nigeria controls the game from the midfield heading forward, they'll be able to, control the tempo of the game.
Okay. Itoro, just before I let you go, your scoreline prediction for this game between Nigeria and Cameroon.
Well, I don't think the goal margin is going to be that much. I mean, considering the fact that from the last few times they've met, the goal hasn't been more than 3 goals. So it's either it's going to be a 2-1 or 2-0. So if not, maybe, well, let me just say 2-1.
Okay.
Let me not take it into penalty because I don't want it to go into penalty.
Okay, then. Itoro Jimmy, thank you so much for your time on the show. Hopefully, the next time we have you, we'll be speaking about the Super Falcons either being in the semifinals or possibly winning this tournament. Do enjoy the rest of your day.